What's up, guys? I am here in Newark in the South Ward. I was driving by and I had to stop real quick. I was in Newark looking at a property that I'm trying to get leased up because we're about to list it once we do get it listed up. But as I was driving, I saw this property here, and what caught my eye, obviously, decent building type of two-family, was this. This property is owned by the city of Newark. I'm assuming it's part of the land bank. I will reach out and see what the city's plans are for this property. But from my experience in the past when dealing with the city of Newark and the land bank, a lot of the properties are already spoken for. So while they may be listed as in the land bank, you're gonna have a hard time purchasing them. You have to fill out an application. There's a bit of a process you have to go through to actually acquire the property. But I like this style. It's got the brick two-family with the garage on the bottom. I'll take you around real quick. Let's take a look here. So it's a legal two-family, but what I do like about these units is if you were going to own or occupy, you could rent out the top units. And let's say you didn't need, those are probably 3-bedroom units. There's another unit right here. So you could live here and it's not going to be a legal unit, but you could still live here and then rent out the other two, and ideally your most of your mortgage will be covered by that. So let's say you can get, I don't know, $2,500 per unit depending on the size of the bedrooms. That's $5,000 in income, and you live down here. Now, even if you're only putting in $1,000 out of your pocket, let's say $6,000 for the mortgage, now you've got an apartment that's going to be building equity, or your house that's going to be building equity, and you're going to be living for $1,000 a month, where most people's rent is going to be closer to $2,000 to $2,500. So you're actually saving money. That's house hacking, and that's something that I am a firm believer in, especially for your first property. If you can lower your cost, I think it's always good to do that. Now, it just depends on what you got going on in your life. Maybe you need more bedrooms. Maybe, you want a single family home. But for me, I love the idea of house hacking on your first unit. Now, this is a strong structure. I do like this style of building, and this has HVAC too. All right, so this one does not look like it works, but you can always have somebody come take a look at it. Maybe they can get it maintenance and get it working. This one looks like it's a little bit better condition, but it may not work. But depending on what you're getting it for, you're just gonna replace it and any other things. I don't know what the inside looks like, but the bones of the property do look good. And if you get it for the right price, you can definitely put money into it to add value. So I'm gonna show you a couple other properties as I was walking down this street, because I saw some other opportunities. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Newark and what's going on as far as real estate. Over the past 5-10 years, the prices in Newark have gone up dramatically, and they're going to continue to go up because New York is still expensive. It's only becoming more expensive, and people are moving out of New York and they're moving to Newark and North New Jersey in general, looking for places to live. And for example, I'll make my way back down there, but there's going to be a lot of demand, and there is a lot of demand in the area, which is why the prices are going to be going up. But what I like about this property is obviously the style, but this one right here, I looked it up. This was on the market about a few months ago. It looks like they took it off the market. Had it offered, I had it listed at $670. This is a 3-family. They had it listed at $670. This has got a nice big garage. And it looks like the buyer backed out, and then now they took it off the market. So, what I'll also do for this one is I'll reach out to the owner and see if there's still any interest in selling the property, and maybe I can find them a buyer and facilitate that sale as well. And then what I also wanted to show is this right here. This is a new construction. Get a better feel. So this is a new construction. Again, it's a 2-family, but this one's probably a little bit wider or about the same size as the other one I was showing you that's owned by the land bank or the city of Newark. And when you're buying a property, this is exactly what you want to see going on in the neighborhood. You want to see new construction. You want to see other investors putting money into the property, so that way you know that your money that you're investing is also being used by other developers and investors. So this is an empty lot right here. So at some point, you'll probably see this getting developed as well. But looks like they did a good job here developing this unit and this property. So I'm lost somewhere. And maybe at some point, this will also get developed. I didn't look up what price this was sold for, but I'm assuming it was probably closer to $800,000, maybe even $750,000. And then I'm gonna bring you back over this way because there was actually another new construction. This was built in 2023, and this one did sell for $755,000. So over here, there is another empty lot. So at some point, this will be developed as well. Across the street, you can see they all have that same style of 2-family. 1, 2, 3 of the same type of build there. 2 of the same build right there. And 2 more 2-families over there. And again, what I like is they have the garage. You know, nobody wants to be struggling for parking. Now this one is built in 2023 and sold for $755,000. New construction. Again, it's going to have the bonus unit behind the garage. So it's a legal 2-family, but there is a 3rd unit that's going to be on that bottom floor that you could, do what you like with. So, Newark is definitely still rising, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity for people to come in who want to invest in over the next 5-10 years. And I've also seen in many things, there's a lot of people from Brooklyn who have sold their townhouses, their properties, and they're moving here because Brooklyn has gotten so expensive. They bought these properties 15, 20 years ago. Maybe they paid, $400,000, $500,000 for them. And now these brownstones, they're going for $1.5 million. So I've seen it where they've sold the brownstone and then taken some of the proceeds to put down on a property like this, right? So if you've got $1 million worth of equity, right, and let's say this property costs you $800,000, you take half of that, $500,000, you put it as your down payment, and then now you're taking a mortgage, let's say $350,000, you have a manageable payment, and you have a brand new construction property. So that's what I've seen who's buying these types of new constructions. And there's just people, investors as well, right? If you can get it for the right price, if you can rent them out for the right price, and the numbers make sense, the property is paying for itself and you're making a profit, you're always going to do that. And then a lot of these properties that are new construction, they also come with a 5-year tax abatement. So the taxes are low for the first 5 years, so you can actually make it cash flow even if you paid a high price for it. So I'm going to be doing more videos like this in the areas that I'm operating in New Jersey. I do a lot of deals here in Newark, Essex County, Passaic County, Bergen County, pretty much all of North Jersey, anywhere within 30 to 45 minutes of New York City. I'm very familiar with. So if you or somebody you know is looking to purchase property in the North Jersey area, go ahead and reach out. I'll put a link in the bio where you can contact me and we can discuss what your real estate needs are, and I will be happy to help you. Catch you on the next one.